Good afternoon. This is Kavipriya, Assistant Professor, EC Department, SNS College of Technology. I am going to discuss about the topic memory from the subject digital electronics. So let's recall about the flip-flop and registers. We have discussed about this registers, flip-flop, latches in sequential circuits, which is capable of storing a single bit of data, which is being used in a memory devices. So memory devices is an essential block for microprocessors as well as the embedded systems. So first, let us discuss about why we should study about the memories. Because in every digital systems, from microcontroller to smartphones, everything is relies on the memory for storing the data, and in case of processors for storing the data as well as the instructions. So without a memory, a processor cannot perform any operations effectively. So by studying the memory, the engineers can understand how the computer can remember and retrieve the instructions. So first, what is a memory? So memory is an electronic devices which is used to store the data, programs, results, which is a temporary results as well as a permanent results. For performing all these things, all the function, it consists of a address line and it consists of a data line. So address line is meant for accessing and for data line is meant for transferring. Through the address line, the data can be accessed and the data can be transferred to the devices by making use of the data lines. So the memory is majorly classified into two types, which is a primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory capable of providing a fast access. For active data transfer, it can be used. And secondary memory, it is used for providing the long storage. For permanent data purpose, secondary memory are being used. And the semiconductor memories are majorly classified into RAM and ROM. RAM is a random access memory. It is nothing but it is a volatile memory, which means that the data will get lost when the power being get switched off. So it is being get classified into static and dynamic, SRAM and DRAM. SRAM uses the flip-flops, which is SRAM is faster compared to dynamic RAM, static RAM, whereas dynamic RAM is somewhat slower when compared to the static RAM, which uses the capacitors. ROM is nothing but read-only memory. It is a non-volatile memory. It retains the data permanently. Whereas in case of RAM, the data will get lost when power off. Whereas ROM, the data will be get retains permanently. It is classified into three types, which is nothing but PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. PROM is a programmable read-only memory. EEPROM is a erasable programmable read-only memory, and EEPROM is nothing but electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. In case of PROM, the programmable can be done once. It can be reprogrammed once. Whereas EEPROM, the content can be erased using the UV light and it can be reprogrammed. Whereas electrically erasable PROM, the content can be electrically erasable and it can be reprogrammed. And next is a curiosity challenge. SRAM, DRAM, Flash, FPGA. Among the four, FPGA is an odd man out. It is not a memory type. It is a programmable logic device. Riddle, I hold data tight, no power, no fright, erased by UV light, which is nothing but EEPROM. The content can be erased by using the UV, ultraviolet rays. And next is I'm fast and close to CP core, store the data for task glore. What am I? Which is nothing but is a cache memory. So instead of accessing the data from main memory, the data is being get stored in the cache memory. So the accessing time is being get reduced. And next is a memory organization. The basic memory parameters are word, address, capacity and access time. Word is nothing but the number of bits in a storage unit, single storage unit. Address is nothing but it is a unique identifier for each and every word. Capacity is a total number of addressing locations. Access time is time required to read the data as well write the data. And finally, the applications of memory in a real-time world. ROM is ideal for storing the firmware and it can be used for embedded program storage due to its non-volatile property. Cache memory enhances the CPU performance. Instead of each and every time, instead of accessing the main memory, the data is being stored in the cache memory, which in turn increases the performance of the CPU. Next is a RAM. It is best for temporary data and stack memory due to its fast response. And next is a flash memory. It is suitable for USB drives because of its large storage capacity and portability. We have discussed in depth about what is a memory, why we have to study about the memory and types of memory, memory organization, and finally about the applications of memory. And next is the assessment. Which of the following is a non-volatile memory? Which is nothing but ROM is a non-volatile memory, RAM is a volatile memory. Which computer chip allows simultaneous both read and write operations? Which is nothing but it is a RAM, random access memory. And these are all my references. Thank you all.